Ladies and gentlemen, young warriors standing at the crossroads of life, I want you to pause for a moment, breathe in deeply, and listen closely, because what I'm about to say to you today could change the trajectory of your life. You are in your 20s, a decade that is both intoxicating and dangerous. It's a decade of dreams, of first chances, of heartbreaks and breakthroughs. But it's also the decade where the seeds of your future are planted. The question is, what kind of seeds are you planting today? Let me tell you something, your 20s are the foundation years. They are not just a phase. They are the blueprint for the rest of your life. And yet, so many of us waste them chasing things that do not matter. Chasing instant pleasure, chasing approval, chasing comfort. But here's the truth, comfort will kill your dreams faster than failure ever could. Comfort will lull you into mediocrity. Comfort will whisper lies in your ear. You have plenty of time. You'll figure it out later. And before you know it, you wake up in your 30s asking yourself, what happened to my life? Listen, life is not a dress rehearsal. You only get one shot, and your 20s are the time when your energy, your courage, your adaptability are at their peak. If you don't use them wisely, you'll pay for it later. Here's what I want you to understand. Your 20s are for learning, experimenting, and growing, not for playing it safe, not for following the crowd, not for living a life someone else designed for you. You need to start asking yourself 3 critical questions. Who am I becoming? What do I truly want? What am I willing to sacrifice to get it? These are not easy questions, but they are powerful because clarity comes from asking them, and clarity is the key to a purposeful life. I know the world will try to distract you. It will tell you to play small. It will tell you to conform. It will make you believe that your dreams are too big or too risky. But the truth is, the world doesn't care about your excuses. It only notices action. If you're in your 20s, this is your time to take risks, to fail boldly, to explore without fear, to build skills, not just credentials, to create experiences, not just routines. Because the regret of not trying will haunt you far more than a regret of failure. Let me be blunt, the clock is ticking. Your 20s will pass faster than you think. Every day you waste doubting yourself or waiting for the right moment is a day you will never get back. The time to start building your future is now. Here's another truth. Your 20s will define your financial future. The habits you form now about saving, investing, spending will compound for decades. Every decision about money now is like a seed planted in the soil of your life. And trust me, the harvest will come later. But it's not just about money. It's about building resilience, discipline, emotional intelligence, self-awareness. These are the things that no degree, no job title, no amount of money can give you. But your 20s can. So here's my challenge to you. Stop living your 20s as if they're a rehearsal. Live them as if they are your first and only shot. Take ownership of your life. Invest in yourself. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and push you to grow. Do not wait for someone to give you permission to chase your dreams. You already have it. You don't need a job title, a degree, or even the perfect plan to start. You need courage. You need commitment. And above all, you need faith in yourself. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine yourself 10 years from now. Will you be proud of the choices you made in your 20s? Or will you wish you had taken more chances, learned more skills, and fought harder for your dreams? Regret is a heavy burden, but so is mediocrity. And mediocrity is what happens when you let fear control your life. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. But here's the truth. Fear is not a sign to stop. Fear is a sign to go forward. Fear means you're on the edge of something great. So if you are in your 20s, Hear this clearly. Your 20s are your launch pad. The decisions you make now will echo for the rest of your life. The discipline you build now will carry you through decades of uncertainty. The courage you summon now will define who you become tomorrow. Do not squander this time. Do not settle for less. Do not postpone your greatness. Start now. Start small if you must, but start. Every great life begins with a first step, and the most powerful time to take that step is in your 20s. You are not too young to dream. You are not too inexperienced to start. You are not too unprepared to begin. Your 20s are not the years to wait for life to happen. They are the years to make life happen. So I challenge you, not tomorrow, not next week, but today, decide who you will become. Decide what you will stand for. Decide what your life will mean. Because if you don't decide, life will decide for you. And that is the real danger. Your 20s are not forever, but the choices you make in them will last a lifetime. So stand up, step forward, and build a life you will be proud to look back on. Because your future is waiting, and it starts with what you do today. Owning your life means taking full responsibility for everything that happens to you, not just the good, but also the bad. It means looking in the mirror every morning and saying, this is my life, my choices, my results. No blaming your past. No pointing fingers at circumstances. No waiting for someone else to fix things for you. Every single moment you live is shaped by the decisions you make, whether you realize it or not. Excuses are the silent killers of dreams. They start small, disguised as reasons. I don't have enough experience. I don't have enough money. I'll start later. But those reasons slowly become habits, and habits become patterns that define your life. If you want to change your life, you have to first eliminate excuses. You must make a promise to yourself that no matter what happens, you will step up and take control. Owning your life requires courage. It means standing in the storm without running away. It means facing failure and saying, this is mine. I will learn from it. It means refusing to let fear decide your path. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's deciding that something is more important than fear. And the most important thing you can own in life is your own growth, your own purpose, your own destiny. This is why ownership is so powerful, because it shifts the power from the outside world back to you. When you blame others for where you are, you give away your power. But when you accept full responsibility, you take control. That's when change begins. That's when your life stops being something that happens to you and becomes something you actively create. It's easy to look for comfort and avoidance. The world teaches you to play small, to settle, to follow the easiest path. But those paths lead to a life of regret. The only way to truly own your life is to step into discomfort, to challenge yourself every single day, because comfort keeps you stuck, while discomfort pushes you to grow. Owning your life also means owning your time. Time is the one resource you cannot earn back once it's gone. Every day is a bank account of moments, and you decide how to spend them. Will you spend them scrolling through distractions or building skills, relationships, and experiences that matter? When you take ownership of your time, you take ownership of your future. And let's be honest, life will throw challenges at you. There will be failures, heartbreaks, betrayals, and disappointments. But owning your life doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means accepting that these challenges are part of your story. It means looking at every setback and saying, this is my responsibility to overcome. That mindset turns obstacles into opportunities and pain into progress. When you own your life, you stop waiting for permission to live the way you want. You stop waiting for the right time, the perfect plan, or someone else to open the door for you. You become your own door opener. You become the captain of your own ship, steering through storms, charting your own course. Ownership is the foundation of freedom. Freedom is not just the absence of restriction. It is the ability to choose who you are, what you do, and how you live. And that choice starts with the decision to stop making excuses, to stop blaming circumstances, to stop letting fear dictate your path. It starts with saying to yourself, I own this life, every part of it. That decision to own your life without excuses changes everything. It changes how you see challenges. It changes how you handle failure. It changes how you invest your time. It changes your relationships. It changes the direction of your life. Once you embrace that responsibility, you no longer feel like a victim of life. You become an architect of your destiny. And that is the most powerful place to stand, where every choice you make is a brick building your future. Starting now means refusing to wait for permission. It means refusing to wait for the perfect moment that may never come. The truth is, time doesn't pause for you. It doesn't slow down so you can prepare. It moves forward relentlessly, whether you're ready or not. Every second you wait is a second you can never get back. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not talent, luck, or resources. It's the decision to begin before everything is perfect. Too many people fall into the trap of waiting. They wait for the right opportunity, the right circumstances, the right mood. But waiting is a disguised form of fear. It's fear disguised as patience. And the reality is life will never hand you the perfect moment. You create the perfect moment by starting right where you are with what you have. Starting now is a declaration to yourself, I will not waste another day. It is a decision that transforms hesitation into action. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates results. And results transform your life. Waiting for a future that might never arrive is giving away your power to time itself. But starting now puts the power back in your hands. When you start now, you take control over the direction of your life. Even small actions matter. Starting doesn't mean you have to have everything figured out. It means showing up, taking a step, and trusting that the next step will become clearer as you move forward. The first step will give you more clarity than any plan you could write on paper. The most successful people in the world did not wait until they were ready. They started, they failed, they adapted, they grew. Time is your most valuable currency. You cannot earn more of it. You cannot save it for later. Every day you delay is a day you lose. The years will slip away quietly faster than you realize. Your 20s, 30s, 40s, they will pass whether you act or not. But the actions you take now, today, will compound into a future that can change everything. Starting now also means embracing imperfection. Too often, people say, I'll start when I'm ready. But the truth is, you'll never feel completely ready. The perfect conditions rarely exist. Waiting for them only keeps you in the same place. Starting now means saying, I will begin despite the fear, despite the uncertainty, despite the lack of certainty. It means valuing progress over perfection. When you delay, life doesn't slow down. It keeps moving. Opportunities pass by. Seasons change. People move on. The moments you think you can come back to are gone forever. Time doesn't wait for you to feel ready. Time doesn't wait for you to finish your doubts. It doesn't wait for you to gather more courage. Time moves forward whether you start or not. Starting now is not about being reckless. It's about being intentional. It's about aligning your actions with your purpose. Every small step you take today builds your momentum for tomorrow. A single decision to begin can break the chains of procrastination. And once you begin, you ignite a chain reaction that leads to growth, confidence, and results. When you look back in years to come, you will not regret the things you tried. You will regret the things you waited too long to start. Waiting is a silent thief of dreams. Starting now is a bold act of courage. It says you value your life enough to take control of it. Every day is a chance to move closer to the life you want. Every moment is a chance to take action. Waiting is losing. Starting now is winning. The power of starting now lies in the compound effect of small actions. When you begin, you create momentum that builds over time. Small, consistent steps can lead to extraordinary results. The moment you decide to act, you step out of the crowd of dreamers and join the ranks of doers. When you start now, you send a message to yourself: my life matters. My time matters. My dreams matter. And that decision right here, right now, is the spark that sets your entire future in motion. Failing fast is not about being reckless. It's about being fearless. It's about understanding that failure is not the enemy of success, but a necessary stepping stone to it. Every great achievement in history was built on a foundation of failures. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how quickly they recover, learn, and move forward. Too many people are paralyzed by the fear of failure. They hesitate, they overthink, they wait, they protect themselves from the possibility of making a mistake. But here's the truth. The greatest risk is not failing, it's never trying at all. Waiting for the perfect plan or the perfect moment is a form of self-sabotage. It's saying to yourself, I'd rather stay safe than grow. But safety keeps you small and growth requires risk. Failing fast means giving yourself permission to try without fear of the outcome. It means accepting that mistakes are not proof of weakness, but proof that you are in the arena of life, taking action. The sooner you try, the sooner you learn. The sooner you learn, the sooner you improve. This cycle, try, fail, learn, adjust, try again, is the engine of progress. When you fail fast, you cut down the time wasted on paths that don't work. You free yourself to explore new ideas and strategies without getting stuck in perfectionism. Every failure is a lesson disguised as a setback. If you look closely, failure gives you invaluable information: what works, what doesn't, what needs adjustment, and what you need to improve. That information is the key to getting better faster. Think about this. Every successful person you admire has failed. Not once, but many times. They didn't let failure define them. They let it refine them. They used it as fuel to keep going. And that's the mindset you must adopt. Failure is not your enemy. Your fear of failure is. When you fail fast, you strip fear of its power. You disarm it. Failing fast also teaches resilience. It builds strength of character. It trains your mind to adapt. It teaches you that no matter how many times you fall, you can stand up again. And every time you stand up, you become stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what's ahead. Resilience is not something you are born with. It's something you develop through action, trial, and error. The longer you delay taking action because of fear of failure, the longer you delay your growth. Waiting for certainty is a recipe for stagnation. But failing fast accelerates learning. It forces you to experiment, to innovate, to pivot. It teaches you that progress comes from movement, not from waiting. Fail fast. Learn faster is about turning every no into a step toward a yes. It's about seeing obstacles as opportunities. It's about treating every failure as a lesson and every lesson as a stepping stone. This approach transforms the way you experience life. Instead of fearing failure, you embrace it as an essential part of the process. When you adopt this mindset, you stop seeing failure as something to avoid and start seeing it as something to seek out. Because every failure is proof that you are trying. And trying is the only way to grow. The only way to reach your potential is to test it. The only way to build success is to build it through trial and error. Failing fast also gives you clarity. It reveals what works and what doesn't far sooner than endless planning or hesitation ever could. And that clarity allows you to focus your energy and resources on what truly matters. You stop wasting time on paths that lead nowhere and start building on what actually moves you forward. In the journey of life, failure is inevitable, but failing fast transforms failure from a stopping point into a launching pad. It means embracing imperfection and valuing action over delay. It means understanding that every failure is a lesson, every setback is training, and every stumble is a sign that you are moving forward. When you fail fast, you learn faster. When you learn faster, you grow faster. And when you grow faster, you reach your dreams sooner. Your habits are the architecture of your life. Every small choice you make today is like placing a brick in the foundation of your future. Habits aren't just actions. They are the invisible forces that shape your destiny. If you want a different life tomorrow, you must build different habits today. Success is not an event. It is a product of daily discipline, repeated actions, and consistent choices. The truth is, your future is not decided by one big decision or one lucky break. It is decided by the small things you do every single day. The habits you build define who you become. They determine whether you grow or stagnate, whether you rise or fall. If you want to change your future, you must change your habits. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now, building habits that build your future begins with clarity. You have to know what kind of life you want so that your daily habits align with that vision. Without clarity, habits become random actions with no purpose. But when your habits are tied to your vision, they become powerful tools that carry you toward your goals without needing constant motivation. Motivation is fleeting. Habits are permanent. Habits require discipline. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's choosing the action that serves your future instead of the instant comfort of the present. Discipline is the bridge between goals and reality. And habits are the road you walk on every day. The power of habits lies in their compounding effect. A small habit repeated daily becomes powerful over time. Reading 10 pages every day will make you far wiser in a year. Saving a small amount of money consistently will make you financially secure in the long term. Practicing a skill for a few minutes daily will make you exceptional over time. These habits might seem insignificant in the moment, but their long-term impact is massive. Building habits is not easy. Your brain resists change. It clings to comfort. But if you want to build a future worth living, you have to be willing to endure temporary discomfort for lasting growth. Habits are not built in grand moments of inspiration. They are built in the quiet, repetitive acts that you commit to day after day. Consistency is the secret weapon. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. Missing one day is not failure, but stopping altogether is. The best habits are the ones you can sustain for life. It's not about intensity, it's about longevity. The question is not how much effort you give for a day, but how much effort you can give for years. Another key to building powerful habits is designing your environment. Your environment shapes your behavior more than your willpower ever will. If you want to eat healthier, keep unhealthy food out of the house. If you want to be more productive, design a workspace that minimizes distraction. If you want to read more, keep books within easy reach. Make your environment work for you, not against you. Building habits also requires patience. Change rarely happens overnight, but with persistence, the compound effect will surprise you. The habits you build today will carry the weight of your success tomorrow. They are investments you make in your future self. Every time you repeat a good habit, you are depositing into your life's bank account. And over time, those deposits grow into an extraordinary life. The most successful people are not the ones with the best plans. They are the ones with the best habits. They understand that greatness is not achieved by luck or talent alone, but by the consistent choices they make every day. Habits are the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. When you build habits that build your future, you stop relying on motivation. You stop relying on willpower alone. You create systems that work for you even when you don't feel like it. You turn discipline into automatic action. That's when your life changes, not by chance, but by design. Habits are powerful because they compound. They grow quietly in the background, shaping your life in ways you might not notice day by day. But years later, you look back and see a completely transformed life. Fear is not your enemy. It is your guide. Most people think fear means stop. They believe fear is a warning to retreat, to play safe, to stay in comfort. But the truth is, fear often points directly to where you need to go. Fear is a compass showing you what matters most to you. It is a signal that you are about to step into growth, into transformation, into something bigger than yourself. Fear is uncomfortable because it is a sign you are moving towards something new. The things that scare you the most are often the very things that will change your life. The dreams worth pursuing will almost always trigger fear. And that fear, that nervous energy, that uncertainty is proof that you are on the right path. Fear is not a stop sign. It is a guidepost. The problem is most people respond to fear by avoiding it. They let it dictate their choices. They settle for what is safe instead of pursuing what is meaningful. They shrink back, telling themselves, I'll wait until I feel ready. But readiness rarely comes without action. You become ready by stepping forward into the fear, not by running away from it. Fear reveals where your edge is, your limit, your boundary. And your growth lies just beyond that boundary. Every time you face fear and move forward anyway, you expand your comfort zone. You grow stronger. You gain confidence. You prove to yourself that fear is not a barrier, but a doorway. Fear is a compass because it points to where your true purpose lies. If you want to live a life of meaning, you must learn to lean into fear, not away from it. This doesn't mean you act recklessly. It means you evaluate the fear and let it guide your decisions. If something scares you deeply, it's worth exploring. That fear is telling you that this is an area where you can grow, where you can learn, where you can become more than you are now. When you follow fear, you step into your potential, the growth you want, the success you seek, the fulfillment you desire. All of it lies on the other side of fear. Fear is a signal that you are stretching, that you are challenging yourself, that you are moving toward transformation. Every great breakthrough in life has been preceded by fear. Every leap forward comes with uncertainty, and every moment of courage begins with the choice to follow fear rather than flee from it. Fear teaches you courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is action in the face of fear. When you follow fear, you train yourself to respond to challenges with bravery instead of retreat. You train yourself to trust that you can handle whatever comes your way. This trust becomes a foundation for everything you want to build in life. Fear also teaches you clarity. It reveals what truly matters to you. When something scares you, it's worth asking, why does this scare me? Often, the fear points to something deeply valuable, a dream, a mission, a truth you haven't fully acknowledged. When you answer that question, fear stops being an obstacle and starts being a guide. When you follow fear, you stop living in a constant state of avoidance. You stop letting fear control your life. Instead, you transform fear into a tool, a compass pointing you toward your highest growth. You learn to navigate life, not by avoiding the things that scare you, but by using them as markers of where you need to go. Fear is not a weakness to escape. It is a signal to embrace. It is the body's way of telling you you are on the right track. that you are stepping into something that matters. When you learn to read that signal, fear becomes a powerful ally. It becomes your compass. The moment you see fear as guidance instead of a barrier, your entire approach to life changes. You stop playing it safe. You stop shrinking. You start expanding. You start taking actions that align with your purpose, even when they scare you. And that is when transformation happens. Following fear is not easy. It requires bravery. It requires discipline. It requires a willingness to face discomfort. But the rewards, growth, freedom, self-mastery, and purpose are worth every step you take.